noise of building anticipation? Matt Ward!
Hello, Clerkenwell. So, I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to do a couple of things this evening. I'm going to talk for a little bit about 19th century neuroscience, and then I'm going to actually do some proper live neuroimaging on stage, okay? Which is with this arrangement, using things you can find in your own kitchen. I've got a rolling pin in the middle here. I've got a kitchen scale at the end here. Well, it's a crap one that I bought on eBay for like a tenner. But hopefully it'll work. And yeah, so we can do that. But I'm going to explain how it's going to work first. So we do neuroimaging a lot these days. This is what I do in my day job. I put people in an MRI scanner and see what bits of their brain light up, and we get pretty pictures like this where you get blobs of colour on people's brains that show where their brains are active. Now, a lot of people might think those pretty blobs you see in pictures in the newspaper and stuff like that might show which actual brain cells are active. That's not true. It's not the case. What we measure with fMRI is blood flow. So we measure the regional differences in blood flow in the brain, and we assume that if an area of the brain is active, it's requiring more oxygen, more blood, and therefore the blood flow to that area increases, okay? And that's usually true, so it's generally a good assumption. There are some cases when it's not, but it doesn't matter. So, so what we generally do is we give a stimulus, and then we get this function occur, this response in the brain. This is called the haemodynamic response function, okay? So obviously blood flow takes a little while, it takes a few seconds for the blood vessels to dilate and get the oxygen to the right area. And the peak of the response usually occurs about 6 seconds after the onset of the stimulus. The first guy to notice this was an Italian physiologist in the 19th century called Angelo Mosso. This is him. And he had a load of patients that had some kind of brain surgery where they basically still had their skulls pretty much open. And he noticed that when they got a bit excited, the membranes of their brain used to pulsate faster. Okay, they pulsate with each heartbeat. But when they got a bit excited, they pulsated faster. So he was the first guy to put together the idea that mental activity and blood flow in the brain were related. And he invented this machine called an ergograph to measure the blood flow in the cranium. He also apparently developed an experiment to do this in non-brain damaged people. Now this guy here, William James, the only write-up we have of this experiment is in William James's journal. And the experiment goes like this. You put a person on a flat surface that has a pivot underneath it, and you get them there resting quietly, relaxing, and you then get them to do something, do some very hard sums or whatever, and if they're perfectly balanced, the blood flow redistributes in their body, more of it goes to the head, and the head tips down, okay, if they're perfectly balanced, right? So, I thought we'd give it a try. Everybody that's written about this ever since has gone, oh, it couldn't possibly work. But I thought, bollocks, let's give it a go. If it works, it'll be amazing. If it doesn't, it'll be a clusterfuck. What I needed for this was somebody who was relatively small, because we've only got a relatively small surface here, but preferably with a massively oversized head. And also somebody who was capable of achieving a kind of zen-like state of absolute calmness, and then going from 0 to massively excited. That was asking a bit much, but my friend Tom was in town, so Tom, come up here, ready? Yes, Tom, trained for an evolutionary language specialist in Edinburgh. Woo! So, no, you can't see fuck all. Right, so what we've got is we've got a pivoting surface here. We've got a scale at this end that I'm going to rest the surface on, that Tom's head's going to go on. I've got a webcam attached to my computer so you can see the readout on the scale on the screen. Ah! Isn't that exciting? So let me just get that.
This is totally unrehearsed and I have no idea.
Oh yeah, no, I've never done this before. We did think about rehearsing it, but then I thought, bollocks. Well, that's a good view so far. All right, so could I get somebody else up, like somebody like a big lad like you, just to make
Big
sure.
lad, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, make sure nobody dies. Let me just get this working. Can you see that? Yeah. Ooh, just about. Eee. Oh, that doesn't look good. There we go. Excellent. Okay. Can you kind of go down that end and kind of steady it and make sure it doesn't like skid off as Tom gets on? Because I'll. Yeah, get on. And there's a box there. Look at that. So you can stand on that. How are we doing for Tom? No. Okay. Okay, now we want you mostly down that end with your legs hanging over the end, I think. This is the biggest flat surface we could find. Alright, yeah, a bit further down, I think. Scoot it a bit further. Okay, alright. So now what I need you to do, Tom, is remain totally still and enter a zen-like trance. Okay? Close your eyes, seriously, close your eyes. Try and relax. What I want the audience to do is when I say go, is just, we want to stimulate Tom's auditory cortex, his visual cortex, all the emotional bits of his brain. We want to stimulate as much of his brain as possible to get as much blood up there as possible. So I want the audience to chant Tom, 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 Tom when I say go, okay, because someone's name is the salient stimulus. He's going to open his eyes, and I want you to think about something incredibly upsetting and nasty, Tom, okay? Think about a loved one. Oh, no! Hang on. There we are, we're back. Think about a loved one having something horrible done to them. Oh. Yeah. All right. Or the Holocaust or something, right? Don't think of anything sexual because that's going to redistribute the blood in there. Okay? Stop fucking laughing. Okay, calm. You calm, Tom? Relax. Okay. So remember, it's going to be, after we say go, it's going to be 5 or 6 seconds before we'll see any effect of the blood flow. Okay, you ready, Tom? Yes. 1, 2, 3, go. Open your eyes. Tom! 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 There. I'm calling that a win. And that's how you do neuroimaging with the rolling pin on the kitchen scale. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Wall and Tom. With a set entitled Pop Beats Brain. I believe there you got a change of what, 400 and a change of 4,000 at the mention of getting right, ladies and gentlemen, while they pack that up, there's a couple of things I need to tell you about. You all on the way in have been harassed and harassed.